Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody, let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there, enjoying your day, making it positive, making it amazing. All right. We got some things to talk about. I didn't expect to wake up this morning with this information, but shout out to my people who follow me on Twitter and send me mentions and stuff like this, because this probably would have flown right under my radar. Okay. But I am very appreciative that everybody who sent me this, mentioned me on Twitter. I appreciate you guys letting me know about this, because if y'all didn't tell me, I wouldn't have known a doggone thing. Let's just keep that straight funky. All right. But I do appreciate it. You guys also being here, chopping it up with me, riding with me today on this glorious morning. All right. Or at least the morning for me. So hopefully it's a glorious morning for you. We got some new information here, y'all, revolving around the Idaho 4 unalivings, this tragedy, the Idaho 4 tragedy. And this could be good news. I mean, it's a thumbs up. It could be good, very, very good news. And I'm hopeful. Okay. We're going to talk about it. Okay. And we also have the police chief Fry's full interview that he just recently had, which was interesting. We're going to take a look at that as well, so you guys could just see with your own two peepers. This one's not a super long show. Okay. Because I'm still getting my coffee in, but I wanted to hop on before the day gets cracking. All right. And give you guys this information and give you guys some updates around this. Okay. So please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. All right. That would really, really mean a lot. Send it past 300 likes as you guys start to file in. I see you guys. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to every single last one of y'all in every corner of the world right now. And if you haven't done it yet, man, do me a small favor. Hit that subscribe button. All right. We're working our way towards 100,000 subscribers. We're almost there, y'all. We are almost there. So hit that subscribe button if you're liking the purple tree. Let's just say that. All right. That would really, really mean a lot. All right, guys. We got to get into some things, y'all. Okay. We got to get into some things. Well, first off, I want to say thanks, guys, for saying that you like the yellow. Okay. Listen, I just upgraded my camera. Okay. Finally, after 2 years of doing this, I finally upgraded my camera. So I can actually wear colors on the show. The camera I had before, anytime I wore yellow, red, it basically seemed like any of the primary colors, my camera would just lose its mind. So, yay. I'm really happy that I finally upgraded this camera, and now I could wear colors again on the show, which feels good. Okay? So you're going to be seeing a lot of colors from this point on, or as much as I can. Okay. So anyway, all right. So we got to get into this. All right. So we got to get into this. Okay. So we already know, obviously, about the Idaho 4. Last night we went into we had a great conversation last night. Really great phone calls, all that. We talked about this, these new photos, which I'll show you guys again real quick, because I know some of you guys are going, what photo? Because some of y'all are coming late to the party and maybe missed the fun last night. But I'll show you guys the photo one more time. There was this photo that just came out just over the past couple days. And of course, everybody's been going crazy over this photo. Okay. Basically saying why did this come out? Is this even real? So on and so forth. Okay. The theories have been running rampant. Some people think that this is photoshopped. Some people think it's fake. They think that the photo or the images of Kaylee and Maddie are from the food truck, and that they just cut them out of stills from the food truck and superimpose them into this photo. They're saying that there are theories that this is Jack D up here, okay, with them. Okay, there's been side by side photos of that, which I'll show you guys here in a second, just to give you guys a quick recap. They're even saying, obviously we see the hoodie guy, the infamous hoodie guy. He's right here where my mouse is. All right. But they're even saying that this is the chief of police. They're even saying that this dude right here is Chief Fry. Okay. Which is crazy. Then also they're saying that this right here, this man right here is Adam. Okay? So they're saying everybody, every suspect, every person, including the chief of police, is in this doggone photo. Okay? Now, we had some phone calls earlier last night, or at the latter part of the show, which was absolutely fantastic. Great conversations. But we had somebody who called in. He basically broke down the photo, which was he was like, I use Photoshop a lot. I do a lot of Photoshopping, so on and so forth. So here's my analysis. And his analysis was pretty damn good. Like, it was a pretty good analysis. And this could be a totally manufactured photo, or it could very well be the screenshot from surveillance footage inside the Corner Club bar. I think it's the latter. I think it's a real photo or a real still from footage from inside the Corner Club bar. I really do think it's real. I don't think that the dude in the black hat is the chief of police. You see what I'm saying? But I do think that this photo does have some people in it, which could put pieces together that we're all trying to figure out here. Okay? We're all trying to find out what happened, what's the timeline, what's the truth here, so on and so forth. Somebody else did say that there's a reason why this photo was taken this way, or that this photo was taken, period. That this is the thing that was released or leaked or whatever you want to call it. That's maybe something deeper is going on here. Maybe they're trying to expose something. Maybe they're trying to give us a little piece of the puzzle so that we can have a little bit more understanding of the timeline, so on and so forth. Maybe the guy in the hat sitting, he's sitting. A lot of people are like, why is he crouched weird? He's sitting on a bar stool. But maybe the guy that's sitting on the bar stool in between the two girls, it could be Jack D. It may not be Jack D. We do not know. Again, we still got a lot of questions, right? The reason why I bring this up is because I got something for you that has to do with this photo after we go into our main topic. Because there's a theory out here that's pretty wild, and it's getting shared a lot, that kind of revolves around this photo. So I will get to that later on in the show, okay? But first, Leo Girl, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really do appreciate it. Welcome to the family. And just like Leo Girl, you could do the same, all right? If you're looking to find a way to support this channel, by all means, go down below, hit that join button, become a member of the family. That would be greatly, greatly appreciated, okay? That'd be greatly appreciated. Now, we got to get into this conversation, okay? Don't worry, we will be going back to that photo because I got a little treat for you guys at the end of the show, okay? Near the end, all right? So sit tight, okay? Like I said, there's a theory that has been put out here that's actually It's interesting. I'll just say that. Okay. So let's get into this. Okay. Actually, I got a super chat really quick. Charlie Miller, what's up, man? Thank you so much for the 2. I never heard about Ethan or Xana. Why? Favoritism? See, that's the other thing. We don't really have a whole lot. There's body cam footage of Xana, obviously visibly very, very drunk, talking to police because there was a noise complaint. One particular night, I think it was in September, if I'm correct. I'm going to see what I can do about getting that footage, that body cam footage, so that we can watch it together. That doesn't show us the timeline before, right? That doesn't show us the timeline before their demise, but it still shows her alive and kicking, and obviously very, very drunk, chopping it up with police because she had friends over and they were acting a doggone fool. But let's get into this. Allegedly, they're saying that they may release the 911 call. I got the full interview. The Chief Fry even brings this up. Okay. Chief Fry even brings this up near the end of the interview, which we're going to be watching the entire interview fully. All right. Of course, I'm going to have to jump in and out because of fair use and all that stuff. But at the same time, we will be hearing him even say with his own mouth. Okay. Him saying something about releasing this 911 call, the potential release of this 911 call. So, Allie Johnson, thank you so much for the 2. Another site identified him as the owner, Mark. And if that's the owner, Mark, that would make sense. But it's interesting because there's some theories about that guy and the bouncer that's by the door and all that stuff. So we're going to be going into that in just a little bit. Anyway, let's get into this, okay? So, of course, Moscow police chief floats potential release of 911 call. And let me say this 911 call, I think, would be very helpful. Don't you? It would give us some more clarity on what happened on that particular, that devastating day, that devastating morning / afternoon when that 911 was called, when that 911 call was made, right? Now, authorities may be warming up to the idea of releasing a 911 call in the slangs of the 4 University of Idaho students. So Chief Fry floated the possibility of making the recording public in an interview with a local TV station Tuesday. He said, "I think it'll be released when the prosecution believes that we can release it." This is what Fry said about the call. Which police have so far said little about, other than that it was placed from a surviving roommate's phone, and that multiple people spoke with the dispatcher. So multiple people, that's one piece I didn't realize. Multiple people were on the phone. We're talking to the dispatcher during this 911 call. Very interesting. And because Sandwich just said, watch it be a deep, disguised voice. No, I don't think it's going to be like scream, like, hey there, Sydney. I don't think it's going to be anything like that, y'all. They say multiple voices were on the call. So something, obviously, people were walking over there and finding out maybe what was going on. Multiple voices, multiple people says a lot to me. Okay. Just saying. Oh, 1 second. Rob Slack, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being a longtime lurker too. I appreciate that. Finally got my membership. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. So multiple people spoke with the dispatcher, which is, I think, a big piece right there too. I didn't know that detail. Maybe y'all did, but I don't know. Maybe I forgot that detail. I don't know. So that's news to me. That may be at trial. That's what Fry said. It may be at trial. That may be before then. So it's hovering between then, like between now and when they catch the bad guy, right? When they catch this monster. Okay. So he declined to say whether anything specific on the call could help detectives make an arrest. I can't discuss that, he said. It's part of the investigation, but as soon as we can release that information, we will. Police have said that that just before noon, November 13th, someone called 911 to report an unconscious person in the King House Road, and the King Road house. Sorry. Officers arrived to find Maddie, Kaylee, both 21, along with Xana and Ethan, both 20, gone on the second and third floors of the house. Okay. And of course, they say that according to the coroner, they suffered multiple wounds. Okay. So this is what we have so far, and this is what they've told us. So there may be a moment when they actually release the 911 call. And I guess I ask you guys, how do you feel about that? We're going to be looking at the interview here in just a minute with Chief Fry. It's a very interesting interview. Okay. So we're going to be looking at that together as a family. But I ask you guys, where do you stand on this? Is this something that does this excite you? Are you looking forward to hearing the 911 call? Do you think that this is going to be a smoking gun piece of evidence? Do you think this is going to be a big piece of the puzzle that's finally going to help us connect some of the things that are going on? What are your thoughts on that? You know what I mean? Jeff H., thank you so much for the 5. Maybe the everything that Maddie told Adam is super embarrassing to Kaylee, but has nothing to do with the unaliver. That could be it too, right? They could be like they had their own set of drama, right? Their own dramas, their own personal situations going on that have nothing to do with anything. Again, like what we talked about yesterday, Jack D and his love for Kaylee and the fact that they broke up and all that could have nothing to do with the 4 passing. This could be an act of random villainous activity. It could very well be that too. So yes, there's the question. That is a very good point. This could have nothing and could have everything to do with these 4 passing, which is really, really wild and devastating to think about, for real. But we got to get into the interview here, okay? So without further ado, let's knock this bad boy out. And please hit the number 1. Let me know that you can hear this interview. We're going to be cutting in and out of it just to give you guys a heads up. So I will be interrupting it because those are the breaks. All right. But let's get this conversation moving, shall we?
Actually doing pretty good. We've given people time off. We've adjusted, so we always have people here working on the case. But we've taken some time to spend with our families.
Mm-hmm. And I know that it's been probably incredibly difficult. So can you tell me a little bit about what officers are handling emotionally with this case?
You know, I think all these cases that any law enforcement goes on are emotional. But, you know, we've brought in counselors and helped officers work through that. And we brought in peer support teams to also give support. And we'll continue to do that as we need to. But all in all, the officers are doing really well.
That's good. Can we talk a little bit about some of the national attention this case has gotten and specifically kind of the social media aspect and a lot of, I would
Yeah.
say, like armchair detectives.
Sure.
How has that been in trying to do the real police work when you're getting all of that sort of attention?
It's new, we're not used to the national attention quite this big, especially with news crews coming to town and whatnot. But, we brought in a PIO team that's helped us out immensely to deal with just the large amount of requests to do interviews. The online stuff, that's going to happen, right? I mean, that's just the day and age we're in. There's a lot of people who are sending us tips and stuff through that, and we're going to look into all those as well. So some of it's very useful, some of it can be distracting, but we're filtering through that, and we're managing that, and the investigators are using the information that's good to continue on with that.
You know what I find very, very, very interesting is that it is kind of a double-edged sword. It's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, with this whole thing of them going, oh yeah, just give us everything, because everything could be everything. And I think that's what they're getting to. Understandably, there's people who want to help. There's people out here that want to solve the case. There's people who want to help and contribute, going, okay, I saw something funny that was going on that particular night, so on and so forth. I saw another car, or I think I saw the Hyundai, so on and so forth. I get it, right? I get it. But I also think that that could be very dangerous too, because now you're sifting through thousands and thousands of tips, thousands and thousands of people calling in, letting you know about every little thing, which could lead a very small town's PD down many, many roads that lead to nothing. You see what I'm saying? Now, something you guys said, oh, why is he smiling and everything? I don't know. I really don't know why he's smiling. I just think he's just trying to be kind. He may be a little bit more calloused to this crime because he's been talking about it so much. And maybe he's just trying to be friendly to this young reporter, because to me, it sounds like this reporter is very, very young. And that could be him just being very kind. But I don't know. Okay. But let's continue.
Yeah. Do you mind if we move that mic down a little
Nope,
bit?
that's
It's
fine.
just kind of rubbing.
Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay.
You said it's been kind of distracting. I'm sure that as you're trying to parse I don't want to say there's good tips and bad tips because I'm
Right.
sure you're running
Right.
them all out, but as you're trying to parse through all that information, you said it can be distracting and it's probably a lot of extra work.
Yeah, we've had over 17,000 tips come in, and we have a team across the nation that's looking at those and pulling stuff that's good. But we want people to continue to even any tip that there is, even if they don't think it's a valuable tip, we want those because we'll determine whether they're valuable to us. And people may not think that they're valuable, but we still want that stuff to come into us so that we can look at it and decide if it fits our case or not.
Yeah. And I know a lot of law enforcement says even if you know something you don't think is pertinent to the case, maybe you saw something that you don't know is the
Yeah.
key, but maybe detectives and law enforcement know that that's
Yep.
the thing they need.
That's exactly right, and that's why we've asked people, with any pictures from that night or any video, to send it to us, send it to our tip line. We'll determine whether that's valuable or not, and we have, like I said, a team that's looking at all that and bringing things together so that we can paint that picture.
And I know we have a defamation lawsuit going on, and that's probably kind of beyond the scope of what you guys are focused on. But it kind of highlights the national attention of the case and kind of just the, I guess, messiness of the case and what's going on. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
And I just learned about that this morning on the news, and I think I read it in the paper over the weekend. That has to do with the university and the professor, and we're focused on this homicide right now. So that's what we're going to continue to focus on.
Yeah, he's sitting here going like, okay, we already know about this whole just this ridiculous situation with the TikToker that's getting sued by one of the University of Idaho professors. And he's like, this has nothing to do with the case. So we're going to be focused on the case, y'all. We're not focused on the fluff, the salacious titles of people getting sued for this. This has, of course, that person, this professor, has been ruled out. So they're like, we're not focused on her. We're focused on the case, not this defamation trial that's starting to pop off between this TikToker and this professor. Now, if you guys don't know about that, we did talk about it in a earlier show, but there is a TikToker that's getting sued. I guess a clairvoyant TikToker, a tarot card reader. Hopefully I'm saying it right now. Okay. But a tarot card reader that was basically saying that there was a professor who has no connection to this trial or to this case at all, was the prime suspect, was the person who did it. Okay? So now the professor is suing this TikToker for the BS that she's been spouting out here in these internet streets about her, basically saying she was having a love affair with one of the victims, so on and so forth. It's absolutely insane. But she has been ruled out. She is not part of the case. She's not being investigated or anything like that because she has no connection to the case. But real quick, side note, added to this part of the story, what's really weird is that TikToker hasn't stopped. She's still making videos. Basically, I don't know, umpteenth illing down, okay, on her theory that this professor has something to do with this tragedy. She's still not stopping. It's pretty wild. I will say that. Just so you guys know. Okay, so when they're talking about the defamation lawsuit and all that, that's what they're talking about in this interview. And he's going like, yo, I got other things to talk about. I got other things to worry about, like this Idaho 4. That's the bigger fish that he needs to fry. Get it? Yeah, I'm here all day. Let's continue.
How do you stay focused on the facts of the case with all of that extra stuff going on?
Well, I think it's part of what we do. It's, we're trained to investigate things, and we're fact finders. That's what an investigation does. It puts all the pieces together so that we can paint the picture, so that when an arrest is made and it goes to trial, that we can lay that all out for a jury to be able to see the facts and see how we got from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm. The property owners of that unit that the students were in, have you spoken with them? Are they cooperating with law enforcement?
We have spoken with them, and they are cooperating.
Okay. As we're thinking about winter break coming to an end and students coming back, do you have a message for those students who are returning?
I think I stated in an earlier interview, we want the students to come back. We're going to do everything we can to provide a safe environment, but that really is a family decision. That's a decision that those students and the families need to make, but we're going to do everything in our power to continue to provide safety.
So the only pushback question I'd be asking right then, okay, because I can understand, I mean, let's be real. An act of violence like this, a tragedy that is this big, no one expects something like this. Remember when we watched a video last night, News Nation had interviewed some locals, and some of those locals were literally saying, well, now I got to lock my front door, something I've never done before. Literally, that was what one of the people that got interviewed, that's what one of the locals said in an interview. Real talk, said, I now got to lock my door. Something I've never done before, ever. Right? So, given the fact that it seems like the vibe in this small town is this open door policy, which is what I've been calling it, for lack of a better term, this open door policy, because they feel that it's a small town, everybody trusts each other, it's a safe town. Now that this moment of violence happened and this person's still out on the lam, this person's still out here free, what will they be doing to ensure the safety of every single last U of I student? I feel like that is a question that should be asked. Because what are they going to do? Just add more security everywhere? I mean, what are they going to do? Because this act, this tragedy, which could be a random act or planned, this tragedy happened in the middle of the night, right under everybody's nose. And I know they can't be Superman and be everywhere all the time when bad happens, but it does make me wonder what are their plans, right? What are they going to do to ensure the safety of not only the students of that university, but all the Moscovians, okay, that live in that town. All right.
I'm just going to change my shot here a little bit. And as I do that, I'll ask you, are there still patrols? Are there still extra patrols around the university? And how long are those going to be in place if so?
So we always have patrols going on campus. It's an area that our patrol team, first of all, is up there, as well as some campus officers. But I do believe there's going to be some additional state troopers in the area after the break and stuff. And as well, we've reached out to Lake Tahoe County to provide some extra patrols, just so that people were more seen and they can, feel a little bit more comfortable, hopefully.
Yeah.
Real quick, but this is what I call theater for the mind. Now, does that mean that that's going to drop or make people feel safe by seeing more state troopers, seeing more, if they're thickening up 5-0's presence around in the Moscow area? Is that really going to instill the feeling of safety or not? I guess we'll just have to wait when kids go back to school, if they go back to school.
And I know that you said you've gotten about 17,000 tips. Have those helped lead the case in a new direction? Have they helped kind of divert where you guys are looking?
So like I said, we're taking the facts that we know, we're taking all tips that we know, and we're putting those pieces to the puzzle together and painting that picture. And as we continue to investigate, we'll update as soon as we can, but we're moving forward on this investigation, and we're not going to stop until we get a conclusion.
And I know that you can't give us everything, but do you have evidence that can prove the case when and if you do find a suspect?
Like I said, that's part of the investigation, and I know people are frustrated with us holding that so tight, but when we can provide any updated information, we will.
Get ready. Get ready. Now we're going into Chief Fry's greatest hits. But unfortunately, the record is broken. And it keeps repeating over and over and over again. Here we go.
I can guarantee you that.
Can you kind of explain to people who may not understand or may have that frustration of why aren't they telling us more, why you hold back some information?
Well, you always hold back information on any case that you work, but one this big, you hold back because you want to have an unbiased jury pool. And it's not just about today, it's about in a year from now or whenever we make an arrest and go to trial. We want to have that pool of people who can look at the case and not have all the facts to that to make the decision to find this person guilty.
I may have spoken a little too soon. The broken records of his greatest hits is coming up here in just a second. He just started. He started getting warmed up just a second ago, and then he answered that. Now, one thing, and maybe somebody knows something. Maybe former PD, maybe somebody who is actually still in the line of duty, maybe somebody who's a lawyer. Anybody who's watching this show right now, please, if you know anything, please comment, put it in the comment section. I'd really, really like to know. Put it in the family chat. Why did he say that? I'm going to repeat that piece one more time. He said unbiased because he's worried about he wants to make sure that. Wait, what? I'm going to repeat it again. I don't want to put words in his mouth. So let me repeat that one more again and hear what he says on why he hasn't put out information because of the worries of the jury. What? Hold on.
When and if you do find a suspect?
Like I said, that's part of the investigation, and I know people are frustrated with us holding that so tight. But when we can provide any updated information, we will. I can guarantee you that.
Can you kind of explain to people who may not understand or may have that frustration of why aren't they telling us more, why you hold back some information?
Well, you always hold back information on any case that you work, but one this big, you hold back because you want to have an unbiased jury pool. And it's not just about today, it's about in a year from now or whenever we make an arrest and go to trial. We want to have that pool of people who can look at the case and not have all the facts to that to make the decision to find this person guilty.
Saying to people who may not understand or may have that frustration of why aren't they telling us more, why you hold back some information?
Well, you always hold back information on any case that you work, but one this big, you hold back because you want to have an unbiased jury pool. And it's not just about today, it's about in a year from now or whenever we make an arrest and go to trial. We want to have that pool of people who can look at the case and not have all the facts to that to make the decision to find this person guilty.
Okay. I'm not sitting here trying to nitpick anything. I'm just saying that statement seems a bit strange to me, though. Does it? Okay, now Zebedee just said he understands. He said, I understand. Okay, so you understand, Zebedee. But let me just ask real quick. To me, it doesn't make sense. Why? It's kind of like when we were watching. Actually, I'm not going to use that comparison. But this is already tainted. The jury is already going to have a bias in this case. This is a huge international story. Everybody and their mama is talking about this. So I'm confused as to, like, I understand not giving out everything. I understand that piece. But why suddenly be concerned about the jury and the bias of the jury? That doesn't make sense. See what I'm saying? Is that making any sense? But maybe you guys can break it down for me, because to me, I don't get that. I don't get that part. It's already damaged. The bias has already been damaged. Every person, every American, okay, at least, knows about this case. There are people. I go to the gym, I run into people, and they're coming up to me and going, "Oh yeah, man, I just watched your episode about this thing. Man, I can't believe that to such and such. Oh, I found this too, and take a look at this, bro." You go to the grocery store to get some milk, eggs, and bread. Somebody out here talking about the Idaho 4 tragedy and what their theories are. It is impossible to find an unbiased jury. You'd have to find people that live under a rock, literally. So that's weird, but I could be wrong, okay? That's why I wanted to bring that up, because I was watching that last night, or watching that this morning, I'm sorry, and it just took me off. I was like, how does that make sense? But let's see. Stars above, thank you so much for the comment. No, Pascal, it's not strange. They are law enforcement, and they have to protect the victims. They work to try to get a conviction. The police cannot release information that can hurt the case. I get that piece. I do. And I do understand. I do understand the other part of they can't just throw everything out all willy-nilly and get dirty. You know what I mean? Be real messy out here and just throw out a whole bunch of crap. I understand that. But if there are pieces of information, or that 911 call that we're hoping that they put out sooner rather than later, that could still be information that the general public may want to know, if that makes any sense. Now, I mean, they don't owe us. Let's say this too. 5-0 doesn't owe the general public a doggone thing. But now that everyone is very obviously invested, right? Emotionally involved and emotionally invested in this case, I would just be surprised. I'm just surprised hearing that, right? Because it's going to be very tough for them to find a jury that doesn't already have a bias to this. And also, I mean, unless they are sitting here going, okay, we found somebody, but we're charging them for the unalivings of these 4, but this person did not give a confession, so on and so forth. So this person could be innocent. I could see that part. But hopefully they find everything, smoking gun, etc. Okay? The jury, I don't know, would have a bias. You know, that trial, if that person is tried, everything points to them, and there was a confession. I mean, it's a landslide decision, right? But then again, like I said, I could be completely wrong, okay? Danielle just said on YouTube, thank you so much for the comment. Are you thinking that it's someone high up or someone who everyone knows? Is that what you're thinking, Pascal? I mean, if they are trying to protect somebody higher up, man, that'd be interesting. That would be interesting. That would definitely be interesting. Pink Society, man, I've heard that theory as well. That maybe the person who did it may be connected to a higher up person, but that again is a theory, is a straight up theory, right? And just a theory alone, you know, it's just speculation on that, you know, and right now all that we have is speculation for the most part. We don't have, except for the fact that these 4 are no longer here and how they passed. That's all we know so far. Pink Society, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Fry is talking about due process. During the voir dire, they they look for unbiased jurors, for a fair trial, for the evidence to speak for itself, to avoid mistrial. Pink Society. Okay, I get it now. I get it. I appreciate I really do appreciate the clarity. See, this is why I love being able to throw these things out to the fam, to you guys, to the fam, and you guys just help me break it down, you know? But when I heard that, I was like, why would he hold that ish? Like, what? A biased jury, it's screwed no matter what now. Everybody knows about this case. Everybody. People I didn't even think knew. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue, okay? I appreciate the clarity, guys. Thank you. Wouldn't be able to do this without y'all. So thank you.
What's the timeline on DNA or lab results?
That's a good question. That has everything to do with the lab and how long they take to do what they do. And we don't want to rush that, right? We want to ensure that we're taking our time to get all that right. So we're just waiting for them. It's kind of a we have to be patient too. We would love to have all that information immediately, but like I've told people, you know, real life and the movies are a little bit different. And you know, the movies at the end of the hour, they have all that information. We don't get that quite that fast, but we're going to be patient for that.
Yeah, the CSI effect, right?
Yes.
Everybody's thinking that, you know, it's so quick, and it's definitely not that. And I understand if you can't tell me, but is there DNA in this case?
Like I said, I can't answer that question, but we've collected a lot of evidence and we're looking into every aspect of it.
And I know there's been funding from the governor to aid in the investigation. So how is that money being used?
It's still ongoing, and that's actually at a level a little bit above me. I just present the numbers to our city supervisor and to the mayor, and then they work with the governor to determine that.
So, and I'm still familiarizing myself with all of the aspects of this, but when did that funding come in?
So that was probably 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, maybe even, when I think Colonel Wills announced that there'd be some money made available. So we're just working through the processes of, you know, where it goes and how it's used.
Has this case changed any policies within the Moscow Police Department, or changed the way that you go about investigating?
It is not. We've always been very quick to secure scenes. We've always been very quick to call in ISP, and we've always been very quick to call in our federal partners, FBI, ATF, depending on the type of the case, of who we need the specialty from. So I know there's a lot of confusion out there that we're a small department, but we do utilize our resources and we utilize them very well.
What about with getting information out to people and the media? I know there was some criticism at the beginning about how quickly information was coming out, and the idea that there was not an ongoing threat to the public, and then people were concerned that there was not a suspect under arrest, and that.
So I take responsibility for information not getting out as fast as possible. I probably should have been much quicker on that, but in the beginning of these, you know, we're a small department, so everybody's working on this case, and me to be included. But you know, we realized pretty quickly that we needed to get information out. That's why we called in the PIO team, and they've helped us get information, and I think we've been much better at that since that time. You know, the some of the information early on, you don't, like I said, you don't release a ton. I wish I would have been. I had a press conference earlier, but like I said, I take responsibility for that.
Probably another one of those that might be hard to answer, but when will the department release the 911 call, or can we expect that to be publicly released?
I think it'll be released when the prosecution believes that we can release that. That may be at trial. That may be before then. But some of that, you know, we make a decision as a team of investigators and administration, as well as our prosecutor's office. So we want to make sure that we hold that until it's no longer, not that it's not needed, but it's okay for the case.
Don't worry, we are going to continue and let him finish, let the interview be finished here. But you heard it right there. They may release the 911 call, but they don't know when. And it all depends on prosecution. If they think that it's okay to put it out, if it's not going to damage, maybe damage the trial or something of that sort, but it's going to be released. I mean, obviously, it's going to be released at some point. Clearly, it will be, but it's not being released right now. It will be released. And I'm hoping it is sooner rather than later, but we're going to have to wait. But I do think that if, from what that article said that we read earlier, it said multiple people were on that phone call. Who were those multiple people? You see what I'm saying? It wasn't just one person. It wasn't just one of the surviving roommates or two of the surviving roommates. It was multiple voices that were on that phone call. And that could have been anything. That could explain everything, and it could explain nothing at all. But it could be a big piece of the puzzle here. It could. But let's let them finish here.
Is there something specific on the call that you believe could lead to an arrest?
Like I said, I can't discuss that. It's part of the investigation, but as soon as we can release that information, we will.
And I think this may be the last question. We know that at least one victim's family has hired a private detective. Have you spoken with that detective or the private investigator? Are you kind of in contact with that family?
We're in contact with all the families daily. We have a representative from the police department that communicates with them. I have not been in contact with the private investigator. I think the same family has an attorney, which we have been in contact with the attorney, and we actually channel all of our stuff through the attorney.
Okay. Anything else that you can think to add, or anything you want people to know?
You know, I think the biggest thing is just the outpouring of support we've had across the community, across our state, and across our nation. We've received multiple emails, food, all cards, you name it. People have reached out to us and thanked us for the hard work, and we'll continue to work hard. We're going to work until, like I said, we get a completion of this case.
Well, there's that interview. All right. Now, to me, a lot of it feels like a broken record. A lot of it feels like he's just kind of saying things by rote now. He obviously has been fairly trained in these interviews now. He's been interviewed constantly, multiple times a week. I feel that this is just another one of those things. Now, the only piece that we got out of this, I think, everything else was very by rote, very broken record-ish, okay? Very trained. But then near the end, we went through a 13-minute interview to get 30 seconds of information. And that information is maybe they will release the 911 call sooner rather than later. Obviously, he's saying that they got to wait to see what the prosecution says. It could happen now. It could happen before the trial. It could happen during the trial. Hopefully, it'll happen before the trial. Because I know for a fact, all of us, all of us who have been following this, which is a lot of people who have been following this, all right, are wanting to know what was on that phone call. Man, my only concern is, I will be real, my only concern is that this 911 call, right, as soon as we get it, more and more theories are going to go crazy. More and more people are going to come up with their their theories, their speculations, then there are going to be new faces and new names that they're going to be throwing out. That's what I think. Soon enough, it'll be, oh, it was this guy, who did this, that, and the third. You see what I'm saying? I feel it in my bones that it's going to be something along the lines of that. Right when we get that 911 call, people are going to start acting a damn fool. That's what I think. Now, I could be completely wrong, but I do think that they're going to be like, who's that voice? And who's that voice? And who's that voice? You see what I'm saying? That's what I think. And will it help or hinder the case? And maybe that's the reason why they're holding back on it. And we're only getting these random breadcrumbs like this bad boy that we just talked about last night. Okay? Speaking of theories, we got a new theory out here, which is it's interesting. Okay? Interesting enough. All right? That I think we should take a look at. Okay? I wanted to share this with y'all because I think this is it's an interesting theory. Now, this theory has been spawned specifically because of this photo. And you see this photo, we all seen this photo now. And everybody is concocting they're brewing their concoctions of theories around this photo. Okay? And like I said, some people think this is fake. Some other people think this is absolutely real. I think this is a real photo. And one person called in yesterday and was like, hey, there's a reason why this photo was taken like this. Maybe they're trying to expose something. Maybe they're trying to show us something that we're not seeing in this photo. So remember this photo. Okay, actually, you know what? Maybe I can do this different. Hold on. Let me see what I can do because I want to pull this photo up, but I do have the story that I need to show you guys. So I just remember that photo in your head, okay? Because there's this new theory that's going out here, and I'm going to share with y'all. Because why the heck not, right? Why the heck not? Okay? Because why the heck not? There's a new theory coming from this photo. And then we'll go back to the photo because I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this and that at the same doggone time. Let me see. Yeah, I can't do it. Damn. All right. So this is from a post that's now getting shared like crazy, all surrounding that photo. Okay. So we're going to look at this together as a family. There's a couple of stills, okay, or a couple of posts, okay, that we got to read through, okay? So let's ride through this, okay? So it says at the top, could the Corner Club be an integral piece to the puzzle after all? Okay? It says this also confirms what I read posted by a local, okay? So here it is. Adam. Everyone was saying Adam was the bartender. This local said he was the bouncer. When another poster, was somebody else who posted, asked what Madison meant by I told Adam everything, the local replied that she told Adam everything about the creeper, and Adam and the bartender kicked him out. That's it. No deep, dark secrets. Now that I see from this picture that Adam is indeed, this is allegedly from what they think. They think that Adam is sitting in the corner of the bar or, in that photo. Okay. We'll look at it again in just a minute. Okay. But that the guy in the corner, they believe that he is Adam and he's actually a bouncer, not a bartender of the bar. Let's just keep going here. Now, again, let me say this again. Speculation. This is just theory. This is just something I read. I thought this was interesting. Wanted to share it. Does not mean what I'm saying is 100% biblical. Okay, this is not scripture, y'all. So don't misquote me. Don't try to cut this out and throw this out here and make it seem like I'm trying to throw out some crazy theory, some crazy thing as if it's truth. Okay? Speculation. All right? So that's it. No deep, dark secrets. Now you can see that in this picture that Adam is indeed the bouncer. I believe what this person said to be true. Now, this is what they said. Before you downvote me to hell because you only read the title, take a second to read this. This comment on Reddit from a supposed local apparently adds some desperately needed context to the conversation between Kaylee, Maddie, and Hoodie Guy that is heard on CCTV footage from them walking to the food truck about a conversation between Maddie and Adam. It makes total sense and is the most logical explanation for what they were talking about. So now that is part number one. Okay, let me grab part number two really quick. Okay. And it's interesting. Again, this is just a theory, y'all. Just a theory. Let's continue. In the CCTV image, I guess it's Adam. I don't know his last name, but Adam appears to be the bouncer at Corner Club, while Madison, Kaylee, Hoodie Guy, unknown younger male, which a lot of people believe is Jack D, okay, and unknown older male are all seen. Remember the older male in all black, the black jacket and the black cap. A lot of people thinking that is the chief of police. Real talk, which to me is a huge shot in the dark, thinking that is the chief. But this is who they're talking about, saying the unknown older male, the one that people think is the chief of police. Okay, so they're all seen in this photo, and there's a reason why they're saying there's a reason why this photo was taken the way it was. Okay, so apparently a man was being very creepy to the girls. Madison tells Adam about him, and Adam kicks him out. It is very logical that this man, being spurned by the girls, then kicked out because of them, could have sent this dude into a blind rage. He leaves, but doesn't go too far as to keep an eye on the bar when the girls leave. Again, speculation land, guys. Speculation land. Knowing how creepy the guy was, Hoodie Guy, which would also connect to my theory of why Hoodie Guy or Jack S is walking down the street with them. So let me repeat that one more time. Knowing how creepy the guy was, Hoodie Guy probably knows the girls shouldn't walk alone in case the guy is still lurking around, which he is in theory, either in his car or standing off in the distance unseen. The man follows them to the food truck, either on foot or more likely in his car, as to not be noticed by the three. He waits in his car across the street while the girls get their food, knowing it was busy and Ubers were probably waiting in the same area, so nothing seems suspicious. The girls jump in the car. That is their ride home, and the man follows them from a distance. That is part two. Okay? That is part two. Let's get to part three, which is also very interesting. So he parks in a spot that has full view of the house to monitor when the lights go off, but far enough away that again he won't be noticed, likely up the hill behind the house. Lights go out. He walks down to the house. He enters through the sliding glass door. He does his thing on the third floor, explains why why they think this was targeted, and one of the girls had significantly worse injuries than the other, but is confronted by E and X on the way back down the stairs trying to exit. Because there's also people saying, there was interviews saying that the walls were so thin you could hear everything moving around, right? You can hear everything. And what if that was the case, right? That Ethan and Xana heard everything, or heard that, maybe there were screams, so on and so forth. And they answered the screams. They were getting out of their beds, trying to go like, what the heck is going on? And then they are confronted, or at least maybe Ethan is confronted, right? Is confronted by this monster. Maybe. Again, this is just theory, y'all. This is just theory. Let me get this a little bit closer. Okay, so on the way down, he probably thinks he took care of all of the occupants in the house. 4 equals 4 cars, 4 cars out front, and had no clue the roommates were downstairs. Thinking he has taken care of everyone and there is no more threat of getting caught or seen, he washes off in the sink, and I'm sorry, TW, cleans up a bit and exits the same place he entered back out of the sliding door. The only thing I question is, why is the front door wide open? But that's another conversation. He then gets back in his car, comes down Linda Lane, and is recorded on Linda Lane on a Linda Lane ring cam, turning onto Taylor in his white Elantra. Of course, again, this is just theory. Police see the footage and match it up with the same car that was seen lurking by the food truck, by another business CCTV footage, as well as possibly by other bystanders that mentioned they saw the car near the food truck when brought in for questioning, and then also leaving shortly after the girls do in the same direction as their rideshare. The girls' car is seen again on multiple CCTV cams throughout the duration of the ride home, followed shortly by the Elantra, also caught on camera, thus creating the pattern law enforcement described and why they are confident that this particular car is the missing piece. That's part 3. Very interesting, though, right? Interesting theory. Either people got a lot of time on their hands with their theories, or I mean, I'm just reading it to you guys so you guys can hear this for yourselves, okay? Because this is a theory that I saw last night, caught my eye, and I was like, yo, I need to just throw this to the fam, because maybe this is totally this could be completely off. Okay, again, this is just theory, but I thought this was very interesting nonetheless. So last piece, part 4. This explains why 2 roommates were not unalived. What Madison told Adam, why they are confident the white Elantra is involved, why they cleared Jack D and Jack S so quickly, and why they think it was targeted either one person or the house. House referring to both Kay or Kaylee and Madison being targets. I believe this could be why the corner club owner is only speaking with law enforcement, and that law enforcement released this particular corner club CCTV image photographed at this particular time, because it is possible they believe the older man seen that Kaylee and Madison have their backs turned to while he's talking to Adam and Hoodie Guy. Possible the moment he was being asked to leave is their suspect. Bloom. Bingo. So, very interesting theory. It caught my eye. I was looking at that and I was sitting there going, well, we've been seeing this particular photo, okay? We've been seeing this particular photo like crazy. So now they're sitting there saying, well, there's a reason why this photo was taken, why this still was taken, right? And so we look at this, and then it's like, okay, what if that is Jack D? What if, who is the guy, with the hat on, okay, standing by the door? He's literally standing by the door. You got possibly Adam, who's a bouncer, who's sitting in the corner right here. All right. That's Adam chilling. Okay. But then also, what we learned today, or what I learned today, is that this man right here could be the owner of the actual bar. Again, what was this read? Complete theory. But they're saying that if this is not the owner, and this is just a regular everyday patron, he got kicked out of the bar. This is their theory. He got kicked out of the bar by what they believe this to be Adam, that he's not a bartender, but he's actually the bouncer or one of the bouncers of this bar. And they asked this man to leave if this is not the owner. Okay? Again, I repeat, that was just a theory that caught my eye that I thought was very interesting, revolving around this particular photo and this photo alone. And we talked about it before on the show as a family last night. And one of the things that I said, or one of the things that I didn't say, that somebody else said, I'll repeat, there's a reason why a photo was taken at this moment. Why are they showing this moment? Why not any other angle? This says camera 3, by the way, over here. It says camera 3. So there's other cameras, and you know for a fact they went to the bar. And you know for a fact there's a security camera hovering over the bar. I'm sure there's one hovering over the register too, because they want to make sure that the bartenders aren't stealing money too. Okay, because bartenders can sometimes have some sticky fingers. All right. You know for a fact that they're showing a shot of the full bar, the shot of like where the register is, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? There's more than just one camera. Clearly, it says right there, camera 3. So why this one of all things? Why not a photo of them at the bar taking shots? Why not another one of them outside of the bar? Why this still of all stills? Okay? Yeah, Jeeves. Let me get that. Yeah, Jeeves. It probably at least 4 cameras. Probably one outside, one here to show the people coming and going inside, walking inside the bar, one at the bar, one by the register maybe. Okay? But definitely, there were other opportunities for them to take a still. And someone called in yesterday and said something. It was brilliant. Good, damn good point. There's a reason why this photo was taken at this particular time. What is it? Could this be a piece of the puzzle? Could this explain a little bit more of what's going on here? Or not? And if this is the owner of the bar, then it's the owner of the bar. Okay? Karma just said something. Maybe the bar owner sent this photo out to see if anyone knows this person. Maybe he didn't use a credit card, cash only, and they are unfamiliar who this person is. Maybe. And yeah, that's the other thing too. I didn't think law enforcement released this photo. This was leaked, from my understanding. This was leaked. But again, I keep wondering, whoever leaked this, why? Why did they put this out? It's just interesting. It's something to think about. That theory is very interesting. Again, the theories are obviously running rampant. And that's the one thing I get worried about. As soon as they send out the 911 call, people are going to be dissecting the heck out of that. They're going to be like, oh, you can hear the birds in the background. You know what I mean? It's just going to be, it's going to be a little insane, I think. Okay? Like it's going to be insane. Because right now, people, of course, every single sleuth out here, internet sleuth, armchair detective that is just trying to satiate their appetite for trying to solve this crime, they are eating this little breadcrumb up like it's their last meal. Okay? They're eating it up like crazy, and they're trying to savor every single bit of flavor from this little morsel that they've been given. We are too. We're talking about it right now and going, what the heck is this? And what the hell does this actually mean? Is this a nothing burger, or is this something? I guess, that's just something we're still going to have to think about. Okay. Juanita Brown just said, you may want to reach out to the Chronicles of Olivia because she's been in contact with Kaylee's family. And apparently on November 13th at 11:30 p.m., Kaylee's LinkedIn profile was active, then deleted. That's interesting. I wonder how I can get in contact with Chronicles of Olivia, but I'll see what I can do about reaching out. I'm trying to reach out to as many YouTube true crime commentators as much as I can, because I know that a lot of people have other information or content I'd love to be able to use without, of course, being without just straight up stealing their stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, Marin Sweet, I don't know that part, the hearing that her LinkedIn was active and then it was deleted is a little strange. That is a little strange. But that could mean nothing too. You never know. That could mean nothing. That could really mean nothing. It is very odd though. I agree, Tyler. It is very odd. But again, I don't know. I don't know what that all means. Like we're still trying to figure out the truth of everything. But the theories are running rampant right now. We are all going crazy over this because we all want to know what the heck is going on here. Right? But we'll see what happens here. We'll see. But somebody just said, Danny said, can it be the mailman? He has time to look for cameras. I don't know. Like I said, it's wild. It's wild. I mean, all of it. Again, this is the theories are like the possibilities are vast. It's expansive. And until they give us more information, or until people actually leak more information, we're all going to be sitting here just going crazy with our theories. Because the more time that we have sitting here, twiddling our thumbs, thinking about the crime, the more time we have coming up with concocting our reasons for what happened, right? How it all went down. I'm not kidding. I go to the gym, run into a guy that I see at the gym all the time, or people that I run into the gym all the time, and the people are really focused on this, and they have all their theories too. I think such and such. Some people think it's a murder suicide. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out here that believe a vast amount of different things. Okay, and I don't know. I'm very interested to hear what that 911 call contains. And hopefully it steers us down the right direction, not off the beaten path to something even more insane. Okay? At least that's my hope. Because I think we need clarity and we just need hard facts. Right? So we'll see what happens here, guys. All right? But that is the show. All right. I appreciate everybody for being here, being a part of the conversation. It does really, really mean a lot. All right, guys. Please do me a favor. Don't forget to hit that like button down below. All right. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And of course, if there's any information about this one or any other stories that I've been covering as of recently, for a fact, I'll be breaking it to you live on the show here. And so we could talk about it and discuss it as a family. We got a lot to talk about, and this case is still going to continue to be I don't know what it's going to continue to be. I'm still just shoulder shrug. I don't know, but I'm hoping we get some more information very, very soon. Raven McCall, I'm starting a campaign to get Pascal to 100. Man, thank you. That would be amazing. I would love that. Please. You know what I'm saying? I'm working hard here. Okay. Love to get some more people involved and, subscribing to the channel. I would love to see that plaque. It'd be right there on that wall. Okay. With pride. Big, huge party when we get to 100,000. Guarantee you, huge party. But anyway, guys, it is time to get going. I appreciate all y'all for being here. Have a great rest of your day. I might be on a little bit later on this evening if there's any more developing information about Shanquella or Idaho 4 or any of these stories that are percolating out here in these streets. You know for a fact I'll be talking soon. Okay? But anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all for being here. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys in the next video. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.